In Saudi Arabia, two women who defied a ban that prevents them from driving were briefly detained. Despite that, one of the women says she'll continue her campaign to have the law overturned. CNN's Mohammed Jamjoom has more on this, and he joins us now live from Beirut. Mohammed, I know you've been following this issue for several months now, and it sounds like at least some of these women refuse to back down.
Yeah, that's right, Pauline. What's so amazing about what's going on in Saudi Arabia right now, which is the last country on earth where women are barred from driving, is that women know that they are under threat if they go out and drive, and yet they are continuing to do so. They have been warned by clerics in the ultra-conservative kingdom. They've been issued warnings by the Interior Ministry that possibly they could be arrested, and yet more and more of them continue to get behind the wheel, drive themselves to simple daily errands, trying to show the government that they're not afraid. Well, we spoke to Aziza Al Yusuf, one of the loudest voices campaigning for that law to finally be overturned. Here's what she told us. With her face covered, you can't see the boldness in her eyes. Here, her appearance is traditional, conservative, but her actions are anything but. Everything's normal, explains activist Aziza Al Yusuf. Nobody to the left or right of me seems to have a problem with a woman driving a car. But this being Saudi Arabia, it didn't take long for the police to pull her over. Aziza says she and her female passenger were detained for close to 3 hours. Aziza, why did you decide to go driving that day?
Well, why not? Why not?
No longer hidden behind that veil, her daring completely apparent.
We are sick and tired of waiting to be given our rights. It's about time to take our rights.
Aziza's voice has been one of the loudest, demanding women in her homeland finally be given the right to drive. Since October, dozens of Saudi females have taken to the streets, a remarkable display of civil disobedience. Aziza tells me via Skype there was nothing extraordinary in the errands she had to run on Friday, that there was no driver available to take her. Buying bananas, all seemed fine.
And also I stopped to fill up gasoline. The guy in gasoline station interacted with me very normally. He asked me what kind of gasoline you want.
But the excursion came to an end when she was taken to a Riyadh police station. Saudi officials didn't respond to a request for comment. Aziza says she was only released after her husband signed a pledge stating she wouldn't drive again.
I don't think I will stop driving ever. But yes, there is a chance of any woman who is asking for her rights, not only driving, will face jail. Because there is no clear laws that we can count on.
That lack of clarity far more difficult to navigate than these clogged roads. Still, Aziza's decision is final. She'll continue pushing the envelope by pressing the gas pedal. Pauline, it's the confusion over the issue that's really frustrated so many of the women in Saudi Arabia. They say, look, there is no specific law on the books that actually bars them from driving. So they want the government to tell them, why are they not allowed to drive? Now, Aziza was one of two women who just this past week had a teleconference meeting with the country's interior minister. She said, look, it's great that we reached that level, that we reached the interior minister, that he spoke to us, but now we're being told that it's the king who has the ultimate decision, and we want to know what the government is going to do and if they will finally give us this right that we've been fighting for so long. Pauline?
You have to hand it to her. She's very, very persistent. Now, how exactly was she released after she was taken in by the police?
Yeah, it's a very interesting story, Pauline, because Aziza said that what ended up happening was both demeaning and funny. She says it's demeaning because once she got to the police station, she was not released on her own reconnaissance or locked up because she wanted to be where she was. She was made to have her husband come and sign her out of custody because in Saudi Arabia, you have a guardianship system that's in place, which means that any woman there is not allowed to do practically anything without the permission of her male guardian. That includes travel, that includes working, going to school. school, so many other things. So she said that in itself is insulting for her as a woman. She said the reason it was funny was because they actually made her husband sign a pledge stating that he would keep her from driving. And she said her husband laughed and said to the police, well, I really can't do that. It's only God that will be able to prevent her from driving. So good luck with that. He signed the paper anyway, and then they went on their merry way. But she said it really reinforced the issues with the system there and why it is so confusing. Pauline?
He knows his wife so well, doesn't he? I have a feeling we're going to hear from her once again. All right, Mohammed, thank you very much. Mohammed Jamjoom there, live from Beirut.